You're running, heart pounding, sweat dripping. You're doing everything you were told burns fat, and yet your belly doesn't change. Meanwhile, somewhere else, someone is sitting, still, calm, barely moving. And in certain hours of the day, their body is burning more fat than yours. That sounds like a lie and it feels offensive. But if you've ever trained hard, eaten clean, and still watched fat cling to your midsection like it's defending territory, you already know something is broken. This video is about that break, about the hours when effort backfires, and the narrow window where doing less actually strips fat faster than punishment ever could. Because fat loss is not about movement, it's about timing. And if you miss the window, your body turns against you. Let me drop you straight into the problem. You wake up early, you lace your shoes, you run, fasted, motivated. Your body should burn fat, right? Except inside you, a quiet chemical ambush is happening. Cortisol is high, blood sugar is unstable, stress hormones are loud, your body doesn't feel safe, it feels hunted. So instead of burning fat, it locks it down, especially belly fat, especially visceral fat. The kind that survives famines and stress, the kind evolution designed to protect you when danger is near. And your body thinks danger is happening because you're forcing it. This is the first threat. Not laziness and not carbs, but mistimed effort. Your fat cells don't respond to calories, they respond to signals. And running at the wrong hour sends the wrong signal. Now here's the part most people never hear. There are hours of the day when your body's default fuel source is fat, not because you're moving, but because insulin is low, stress hormones are quiet, and your nervous system is calm enough to allow release. In those hours, sitting can burn more fat than sprinting ever could. Not because sitting is magic, but because fat loss requires permission. And permission only happens when your body feels safe. Let me explain what's actually happening inside you. Every movement you make asks your body a question. Do we need quick fuel or stored fuel? Running is loud, it's urgent, it demands glucose first. Your body reaches for blood sugar and muscle glycogen because they're fast, clean, and don't require dismantling stored tissue. Fat is slow, fat is expensive, fat is only used when the system is calm enough to access it. That's why elite endurance athletes burn fat at rest far more efficiently than beginners do during exercise. And here's the dangerous irony. Most people run themselves out of fat burning, especially in the wrong hours. Early morning before food, cortisol is naturally elevated. This hormone helps you wake up, but it also tells your body something is happening. Be alert. If you run hard during this window, cortisol spikes higher. Your liver dumps glucose. Your body preserves fat like a survival vault. You feel accomplished, but internally, fat burning shuts down. Now contrast that with a different scene. Same person, same body, same calories. It's mid-morning or early afternoon. Insulin is low, stress hormones have settled. The nervous system is not bracing. They sit, upright, calm, breathing slowly. Their muscles are still active enough to demand energy, but not so active that the body panics. Fat is released. Fat enters the bloodstream. Fat is burned quietly. No sweat, no pain, no struggle. This is the second threat. Believing effort equals results. Effort without timing is a metabolic trap. It raises hunger. It lowers metabolic flexibility. It trains your body to burn sugar and hoard fat. That's why people who do everything right often look inflamed, exhausted, and stuck. Their bodies are always on alert. Fat loss never happens in a crisis. Now let me make this more real. Imagine your body as a city under siege. Running is like setting off sirens, lights flashing, resources diverted. Everything goes into emergency mode. Sitting during the right hours is like nighttime after the threat passes. Quiet streets, low alert, repair crews come out. Fat burning is a repair process, not a battle. This is why some people lose belly fat during long flights, meditation retreats, or after stressful periods finally end. The system relaxes, fat releases. But here's the danger if you misunderstand this. Sitting all day won't save you. Timing without intention still fails. The solution isn't inactivity, it's strategic calm paired with minimal movement during specific windows. Let's walk through the window. Late morning to early afternoon is when insulin sensitivity improves and cortisol drops. The body is more willing to release stored energy, especially if you haven't spiked insulin with constant snacking. In this window, low-level movement beats high-intensity work. Standing, slow walking, gentle posture engagement, even seated muscle tension. Your body burns fat because it doesn't feel threatened. Compare that to evening running. Stress accumulates all day, sleep pressure rises, cortisol should fall. Hard exercise here can disrupt sleep, raise nighttime hunger, and push fat storage into the belly. This is the third threat. Training at the wrong time doesn't just slow fat loss, it changes where fat is stored. Chronic stress pushes fat centrally, around organs, around the waist. That's not cosmetic fat, that's metabolic armor. And now let me give you a realistic, dangerous scenario. And you keep running every morning, you eat healthy, you're disciplined, months pass, you're leaner in the limbs, but softer in the middle, and you start blaming age, hormones, genetics. But the real culprit is timing. Your body learned that stress happens daily, so it adapted. This is how people end up skinny fat or exhausted but unchanged. The solution isn't to stop moving, it's to stop forcing. Here's what actually works. In the fat permissive hours, you sit upright, you breathe slow, you let your nervous system downshift, you keep insulin low, you might lightly contract muscles, hold posture, shift weight, use gravity. Your body burns fat not because you're burning calories, but because fat finally has clearance to exit storage. Later, when cortisol is naturally lower and glycogen is available, you train. Hard, focused, short. You earn intensity, you don't lead with it. This is how predators move, and they rest when the hunt would fail. They strike when conditions are right. Humans forgot this. Now here's the internal threat if you ignore this. Chronic inflammation, hormonal resistance, metabolic inflexibility. Your body forgets how to burn fat at all, then no amount of running works. This is why some people diet themselves into immobility. Their systems are locked in glucose dependency. Fat becomes untouchable. But the moment you give the body safety, fat loosens its grip. That's why sitting can outperform running. Not always, not everywhere, but in certain hours, absolutely. And if you're over 30, stressed, sleep deprived, or dieting, those hours matter more than intensity ever will. Let me be blunt. If fat loss feels like a fight, you're losing. Fat leaves when it's allowed to. Your job isn't to burn it, it's to remove the threat. Remove constant stress. Remove mistimed effort. Remove panic signals. Then movement becomes a tool, not a punishment. Now the final consequence if you do this right. Energy rises, hunger stabilizes, and sleep improves. Fat loss becomes quiet, predictable, almost boring. And boring fat loss is the only kind that lasts. You stop chasing exhaustion. You stop earning food. You stop fighting your own biology because biology always wins. This isn't permission to be lazy. It's a warning about force. Run at the wrong time and your body barricades fat. Sit at the right time and fat slips out the back door. The clock matters, calm matters, and safety matters, and miss that and no amount of effort saves you. Hit it and even stillness becomes lethal to fat. And once you understand that, you never train the same way again.